Hi, welcome back to the Backyard Wood Shop. I'm Tom Ryder. Today we're going to be talking about my newfangled workbench a year and a half later. Things I've discovered, the good, the bad, things I've added, all the things that go into a year and a half's worth of use. You'll see the bench doesn't look as pretty as it used to. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Let's go over some of the good points to this bench very quickly. One is its sheer size. You can do large case work. It's 8 foot long, 28 inches wide. It's not too wide, but it is long. So if you don't have the room in your shop, you just need to adjust the plans to make it shorter. That's really not that hard to do. I bought the plans from Fine Woodworking, and I bought the full-size paper plans because I didn't want to fool with digital. Another big thing is it's low in cost. It's only about $150 to $200 to build it. You could probably make that cost less if you have some of the materials or able to get some of the materials for free. Other big thing is the top and everything is pretty much easily replaced. If you damage the top too badly, you're not out of workbench. You can just change to another 2x4 and move on. Alright, let's talk about the bad features that I've noticed in this bench. It's not a whole lot. Number one on my list, I would say, was the storage underneath the bench. In the original plans, he doesn't even have a shelf under there. If you watch my last build video, you'll see that I added a shelf. But what I noticed was that shelf caught a lot of stuff, like different items, but it also caught a lot of sawdust, things like that when you're working. You're shaking the bench a little bit, so things will be falling off occasionally off that shelf. The biggest thing that drove me nuts for a long time was, and I finally rectified it, was the top here towards the middle area had flex in it. It wasn't as solid as I wanted it to be. So if I was doing a mortise or something and I happened to be in the middle because the panel was long, I'd have flex trying to chisel and things, which it would deflect maybe a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch sometimes, depending on what I was doing, and I just didn't like that. So I'm going to show you how I rectified all that. One last thing to cover real quick was I just wanted you to kind of see the top of the bench a little bit. You can see, I've gotten stain on it and everything. I treat it like a workbench. I've got saw marks and different things. I even took a plane and tried to clean up some of it so it wouldn't look so horrible. One of the great things is if you got somebody coming over, you just flip the panels over and it looks a little bit nicer. Just give it one of those, pull one of these by. Now you're starting to get it clean. So I just wanted to kind of show that and let you know that I have been using this bench. Okay, let's talk about a couple of quick things that I've added to just the top to make work a little bit quicker and easier. We can even get rid of this if you like. That there maybe will help you see it better. One of the things is I added what's a plane stop basically, and all it is simply a board that you butt another board against. But what makes it nice is I glued it to one of my MDF panels. I take one of these boards out, get it out of the way, slide this over, put that against there, and now I don't even need to clamp this. I just throw it on, do my planing. This doesn't eject out or anything. This keeps it really, I'm really giving it to it, and it doesn't move. So I don't even need to clamp my board down. I can just plane something down real quick if I'm fitting something and move right on. It's a quick way to work. One of the other things is a bench hook. I keep this stored on the side in this little space I've got, along with a bench brush. A bench hook, I don't know if you're familiar, it's quite simply a piece of wood on one end, a piece of wood on the other, but on the back side of the board, and you just do it like this. Now I can cut on the push stroke if I'm using a saw. I can even plane. If you flip it this away, if you hook it this away, now I can use a pull saw and use it that way, which the bench only being 28 inches really makes it nice, and you can adjust this board to any length that fits your work you're doing. So that's some of the quick things I've done with just the top alone. One of the other big features is, because I added storage underneath now, I went ahead and put put top in so that sawdust doesn't go down into my drawers, which one of the things that make it nice is now I've got a tool tray that's not permanent, let's say, but I've got it under there. If I need it, I can reach under and get it, whatever it is. So that's kind of another nice feature of the top, is I have a tool tray. It's about 2-3 inches deep, nothing too crazy. So that kind of covers the top. Let's move on down the bench. All right. Okay, so now we're below the bench. I just want to show the center supports that I put in. I've got one on this side of the bench, and it's aligned with the bottom brace here. Same on the other side on the back. There's another brace that aligns it, and now the top has zero flex. It's a solid top bench. You can beat it as hard as you want and it will not give. It's just pocket hole screws, 3-inch wide 2x4. Just measured the distance, and I made sure that the top was level and flat as I raised it, to fit a board in there. So that's the key. You want to make sure whatever your measurement is, that it creates a flat top for you. Now, once I did that, then I said, well, now I can move on, and I started looking at the storage underneath and said I could make a whole lot better storage areas using drawers. So we're going to move forward and I'll show you the features of the drawers. Okay, I want to show you the bottom storage area now, which now this bench has a lot of storage and it's all organized and dust free. What I did was I just took a while to get all the materials because I was getting furniture off the garbage. People would give me solder furniture that was broke down, things like that. Pallets from work. Some of our pallets come with particle board tops. So all that stuff added up till I had enough materials that I could build my drawers. So I have zero cost in these drawers other than the drywall screws probably, which is pennies. So all they are is just, sawdust furniture, as I call it. You got oak runners that are waxed, and these slide pretty good. The nice thing is they come out this way, but if my side piece here is moving up and down, I can actually push them through on the back side and access all the drawers. Let me show you real quickly how these are built. Now all the sections are the same. It's just some more sawdust boards. This might be somebody's bookshelf, or who knows. I can't remember now. A lot of it was desks, to be honest with you. I found a lot of school desks and things like that people had set out from their kids. So I just made some panels that go across. They're 23.5 inches long by 15.5 inches tall. I put a board on each section at the top so that I would have a tool tray basically, so the sawdust won't fall into my drawers. Pocket hole screws just go down into the bottom, and that's how this is all put together. And then I just put the drawers in with some spacers so that they would not hit each other, and then wax these runners, and that's pretty much how these are done. So I just wanted to cover how I put these in real quickly. Alright, so I just want to show you here, because of how the bench is built, there's 3-inch wide 2x4s at the top, so that leaves these gaps because I didn't want to shorten my drawer spaces. So this gives me a place to put my side vise, you might as well call it, for the newfangled workbench. So that gives me a place to put those. Real quick, I wanted to show that there's another void on this side of the bench here that I store a lot of my panels and MDF pieces in. Makes them quick and easy to get to. I got my wood for my long vise, or my end vise here if I want to hold something. I just keep that all right there. Works out great. Real quick way to grab it. It's always ready to go pretty much. So I just want to show you can even find space in those small areas. Just want to show the wheels down here. These are the ones I purchased from Rockler. They were $59.99 on sale. These things work great. They're rated, I believe, at 400 pounds, which is enough to handle this bench, even probably mostly loaded down. One of the things I did notice for this bench is, let's see if I can move the camera a little bit. The way that the bench is designed, I had to put in a spacer, which is about 7/8 of an inch thick here. And I also, because it's just a soft pine, long through bolts, I couldn't use the screws that came with the Rockler's mounts because they were just too small and ripped right out of the wood. So if you put in some through bolts and use washer heads, I'll pan around here and let you see the bottom there. You can kind of see I put on some big washer heads and nuts. So you can mount these on here, and I mounted them on the inside so they wouldn't be out in my walking space. So it's another feature I added to the bench was wheels, which is very nice. I used this bench as scaffolding to put in my insulation in the roof, which came in real handy. One of the other cool things I wanted to show you is I saw this on Ask Woodman's channel. I kind of designed my drawers sort of like the way he did it. I just modified it a bit for myself. You can pull these drawers out, and now you got a place to put some wood while you're working up here on the bench. Let's say I'm planing back here. Now I got a place I can just grab a board and go on, and I can just do that all the way across the back. That's part of why the 3 drawers are towards the back and not towards the front here. So I do a lot of my work on this end, believe it or not. So I wanted to show you that little tidbit there, and you got, you can actually stair step it for different plans. The other really cool thing about these is you can pull these out pretty far, so you almost have full extension drawers. So that's another big plus that I didn't cover yet. I just wanted to run over real quick the features of my drawers. They're all built the same way. It's just butt joints with 3/4 inch grooves in the side to ride on those oak runners. They're 1/4 inch deep. Very easy to remember. One of the nice things is if these ever to wear down from riding on hardwood runners, and let's say the sawdust eventually wears down after 5 years or more, it's a quick matter of unscrewing it all, replacing the parts that are gone bad, putting it back together, and I'm back in business without having to totally rebuild an entire drawer. So my furniture in the shop is functional, not pretty. So that's just a little tip for you. I mean, if you want a beautiful dovetailed drawer and everything like that for your workbench, that's great. I just wanted something simple, inexpensive, which free wood is the most inexpensive I could do, and easy, quick drawer construction. I just made a little pattern to cut me a handle, and I'm all set. One of the things that I added to the bench makes it easier, but I just use clamps to clamp it on, or you could screw it down, whatever you want. Is I got it so that it'll come off the edge quite easy. It's just a simple hand screwed Moxon vise. You've seen, if you've done any kind of research on these, you know everybody's got their own detail to it. This one here, another deal with just some pallets that I got from work. It had a nice piece of thick oak, so I went ahead and made a Moxon vise out of it. You just clamp this plywood to the bench. It's great it gets the work up higher even for me, and I can just put my work in here and use it. So it's another little feature I've added to the workbench. Well, this is going to be the wrap up here for the new Fangled workbench. It's been a year and a half. It's been a good bench. It's still a great bench. I'm really happy with it. I get a lot of comments on how do you like it. I love this bench. It's solid. I mean, it's even more solid than when I started. Another great thing is I've got plenty of storage now. The bench is mobile, so I really don't think that I'll probably have this bench 20-30 years now. I really like it. It fits everything that I want to do. If it would fit you, I'd go check out Fine Woodworking, pick up the plans. It makes it a lot easier than you doing a little bit of guesswork. If you see any of that sawdust furniture sitting out for the garbage, grab some of it. I mean, make something out of it, even if it's just before you use your good wood, just as test pieces. I just hate to see it all go into the trash. So try to recycle what you can. There's fasteners on there and fixtures and things that you might be able to use in your projects later on. Also, if you need to contact me directly now, I've got a new email address that I'm using. It's backyardwoodshop@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you. If you would, please leave your comments and subscribe. Thank you.